be doing a Zombie Chronicles live stream. Now, this is basically going to be breaking down everything that has happened so far in Zombie Chronicles history. So, this is going to be explaining all of the timelines, all of the canceled episodes, basically everything in every timeline that we've created so far, which is, I believe, so far 3 or 4. But later this summer, later in the summer time, I'm going to be continuing the franchise with the fourth installment in the season. This is going to be on the original timeline, the first, like, that I started a year ago. So, yeah, let's just jump right into it with the first timeline. Now, let's go back to a little bit before, I think it was like around like mid 2019 that we had started the Fort series, and I recently uploaded a couple episodes of what I had left from the Fort series, because most of them were live streams. Um, but I did do a couple of videos, so it was basically a all-out war. Um, there were it was a war, and then like robots and stuff, and then it was zombies, and at the end of it all, I was shot. Now, we didn't plan this, but now it is canon for any of you guys that are paying attention to canonicity. Caden did in fact shoot me. Um, and I guess I can't. In the new updated version, which we're not counting, but it will be the the canon. It was supposed to be at the end of the first episode, but we didn't add it in because of time restraints. We were filming everything on the same day, besides episode 3, I believe. So it's like we were like, we need to get these out right now. So I did do a short recently. I recovered a whole bunch of deleted scenes and like deleted stuff, and, like behind the scenes, where I was basically telling him to do something and he didn't know how to do it. But later this year, or earlier this year, he did send me some footage of that, so I was able to shove it in at the end of the first episode. And yay. So after that, we start off with episode 1, which was originally going to be extended to like 7 minutes, 8 minutes, because we were going to do like a long drawn out shot where I was going to be walking to the bridge and like contemplate my life on the bridge, basically. And then we were gonna have Chris sneak up behind me, but he kept on failing the damn take. Like every time we were trying to shoot it, something would mess up, so I'd be like, okay, let's redo it. Eventually we just stopped trying to do that, and we just went to the like all the sudden action of the first episode. No opening credits, just immediately being attacked, and James comes and helps out, and we take down Chris and knock him out. Not kill. We didn't kill him. A slap to the face is not going to kill someone, but a stab wound probably will. So he stabbed me, and yeah, we walked away, I guess. And here's a little behind the scenes again. I had told Chris about the camera angle, because I was like, dude, you're gonna want to be in front of us, because they're not gonna hear it because of the wind. It was really windy that day, so I was like, dude, go in front of us. And he was like, it's fine. When you know, half of that scene is you can't hear any of the voices because he's behind. So I fall down, hoping that he goes around to look, and he did. And then thankfully we got to like re-talk all of the scenes, and we saved that clip, because once again we were on limited time. We only had like an hour outside, so yeah. But so after that we go to the pool, which was our local pool. No permits to film there, but Mm, back then it was all right. I mean, no, it was a off day, so no one was there. So we decided to film over there because there wouldn't be any noise, and yeah. Um, so we filmed there. The big fight scene, the like climax of the first episode, and I defeat Chris and supposedly knocked out for like 30 minutes, which literally made zero sense since I was like basically in the same thing. I don't know. I just love how we had James recording the whole thing, even though he was supposed to be knocked out. By the way, guys, I'm not saying my stuff is flawless. This is a video of me nitpicking, kind of. But yeah, so jump to the second episode, where we waste no time. It's jumping right from the first episode. We're looking for my trailer. We find my sword that's broken and my gun. The reason why the sword is broken is because right before shooting, I had dropped it and it broke, and I was like, oh no, we're gonna like do a whole fight scene or whatever with this sword later on. Around that time, I was actually recording Riley Adventures, the movie, and my bow staff broke because I was originally going to be the prop, but then we were like, well, it's broken in half currently, so why don't we just use the sword? And the sword broke too, so we were like, we might as well just make it broken. So I no longer have any of these props. Um, so when we shoot the fourth episode, we are going to be buying like all brand new guns. With the combined budget of me, Caden, and James's budgets, we should be able to buy all new props, all new guns, stuff like that. I do need to plug this camera in though. All new stuff for the series because half of the stuff that we had, besides all of their guns, but their guns jam a lot, which will tie into the next episode, but we're not there yet. So we get to the sniper's nest, and we find a sniper slash shotgun. I didn't really know what it was. I'm pretty sure it was like a sniper, and my pistol that had like 2 magazines. It is in fact a pistol. So yeah. And then we like go across the fence for like a 3-4 minute scene of us just picking up bullets, and it was like so drawn out. And if I were to go back, I would be like, oh, hey, look, there's some ammo on the floor. Pick up the ammo, go inside, finish the episode. And actually, there is two parts to the episode. So when you go inside, I'm about to die to the zombie wound or whatever, which technically it's still one thing because in reality, I can't die to the zombie virus, which you will find out why in the fourth episode because I can't say any behind the scenes stuff. We've been working out the timeline and everything, but I basically can't die to the zombie virus, which we will learn about in the fourth episode. Um, but yeah, so we have a like uh Cure 314, Cure 315, and I think we put uh, Cure, or it's like C134, C135, I think it was. And it's like I think it was like C134 was the correct one. So yeah, that's what we picked, and uh going on the good ending, we get out of there alive. Bad ending, I supposedly die. I wouldn't have died, I would have just healed for a day or two, and then I would have been back up, and we still would have continued our journey into episode 3. So no matter which one you choose, it would still technically come out the same, but in for just fun, we'll choose the cured one. In the cured ending, we go to back to the old trailer park because remember we were going through two parts because we lived in two different areas, and we had to film Chris coming back because of reasons. Once again, it was called the clone, so it's he cloned himself. He has multiple clones. We'll learn more about that in episode 4. I know I keep on saying that, but we have a ton of information in episode 4. It's gonna be like a 30-minute episode. It's gonna be way longer than any of the previous ones. So yeah, if you guys couldn't tell, I'm cosplaying my James, except I don't have the LA hat. He still wears that hat to this day. It was the hat I gave him. It was like a really old hat, and he was like, "Hey, can I have that?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." It's now iconic for him. Um, but yeah, so I can't remember what I was saying. All right, so we go to the basketball court to dispose of his body or whatever. And yeah, we were going to shoot like some flashback scenes of him like dragging me to the pole and leaving me there, and then him running away, and that's how the first episode would have kicked off. I don't believe I have any of that footage. If I do, I will cop that and I will definitely use it because I would love to have that footage, but I don't think I have that footage. Um so after that, my gun jammed, so James tries to fix it, and in the process shooting me, which kills me. It doesn't kill me, obviously. We're doing an episode 4, but technically I will not die to that bullet. We will explain that in episode 4 once again. Sorry again. But yeah, so he shoots me on accident. I pass out. Boom. In the extended version, since I did eventually go into the video and cut out like all of the extra, like him with a 2-liter Mountain Dew, a bag of Doritos, and playing Fortnite. It was basically him saying that he had like a cloning machine or whatever, and I just want to cut all that out from the series because it literally made no sense because we were filming at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and that's when my fort started to kick in because it was like we're not outside, so it's like we were going insane because we couldn't finish filming. And then I moved like really far away, so we couldn't film. So I decided to do reality 2, which was what we labeled the monstrosity. Me and James, after the third episode, we start running away from Chris because yeah, we didn't like Chris as the bad guy, so we ran away, in the process killing James on the way here, basically writing off his character and explaining why he isn't in the series, which is going to be rewritten. We are not killing off James. If anything, we will be killing off the girls. I do want to finish their series though before I go back to the area because I am moving back there at the end of this next summer. That's why we will be filming the rest of the series. Yeah, so we start the girls series, which is the monstrosity series. It starts off with me running, running like 1900 miles or something like that, super far. It's like I run into the girls, and there we passed a whole mob of zombies and stuff. They're coming. Fun fact: Zombie Chronicles has not had a single zombie ever show up, unless you count that one time that Chris was kind of a zombie. But yeah, we'll be fixing that in episode 4. Once again, a lot of episode 4 stuff. But yeah, so we get there, and basically I explain everything and put in a new thing where it's I can't die to the virus. And once again, we'll be explaining why I can't die to the virus in the later update or like later episodes. So, and then we have the book 3, which has been a tradition. The book broke during production of this series. So in like a deleted episode, we had filmed us like coming back to our little bunker, and it was like completely wrecked and everything. which was not planned at all. It's because I had left it overnight and it had gotten rained on and all ruined, and it fell apart. It had been falling apart for a while, but we'll just have to go buy another prop for book three, um, which will be returning in the fourth episode. Obviously, it's like the Kane and Riley Adventures. You can't have a Kane. You can't have a Riley Adventures episode without a Kane, because I thought Canes were super cool at the time. Um, so we find out like a cure or whatever, but we completely like just unacknowledge that and move on to the next episode where we have a zombie break in and kill one of our main characters, Cassie, because she was being stupid. And yeah, so what we decided to do is we got some fake blood, dumped it all over a white shirt, and she was dead. Um, First zombie in the series, and one of the main characters gone. The first on-screen death of the series, and I believe we didn't even get it on film because a ton of the episodes were either lost or just were never uploaded. So there's a lot of in the middle of episodes. We shot a full season that just never got uploaded because of how poorly made it was. And at the time, we had like no knowledge of what we were doing. I don't know what to do. Um, Hopefully in the episode 4, we'll be fixing that. Um, but yeah, so carrying on, we do run into, I believe the next episode would be the PMP crossover. And it's like right after we had like been, it's because I was setting up the Riley Adventures TV show because the movie had failed. So I was like, might make a TV show. Never went through with that idea because it was extremely hard recording two of me, let alone more, in one area. Nowadays, I know how to edit that. That's easy work, but extremely hard. So we ended up scrapping that idea and just went with the PMP crossover, which none of you guys would get the reference from unless you were in my middle school class. We basically were detectives. I still have the prop right here, actually. PMP, which was JC. I think it was the JCM, for a while, and then and then I turned it back to the PMP. Which yeah, fun. I hate changing props because then I have to eventually change them back. The green book also, but the green book is currently gone. It was a prop that got like rain damage or whatever. I don't remember exactly what happened to it, but it got destroyed and it is officially gone. Um so we introduce both of those and how we can get back to our reality, and then as soon as we get back to our reality, because remember there was a third person, even though I didn't ever bring him up. This series was all over the place. There was a third person. It was a little kid. We hated him on set because he was always complaining about how he wanted to be on camera, but we didn't want him on camera, especially nowadays for like Kappa. If I have any kid on the camera, it will instantly be taken down because you can't have kids on camera anymore. Um, we had Cash shoot his death scene. And yeah, that was the end of the little brother saga. And we had wrapped the season with the final episode that never got released. I believe I still have it. I might upload it for like some unreleased content. Um, where we were shooting like us getting back, and then like Detective Riley coming out of nowhere, and like a scene where he was returning the gun or something. It was really all over the place for that season. But yeah, so we recorded the final episode either A, saving everyone, so saving Cassie, Cash, Kaya, and me, basically resetting the timeline, which we know what happens now, so we get to save everyone. Or B, we break the mirror shard, and it in turn kills me and officially marks the death of my character. And whichever path you take gets you nowhere, because I mean, I guess the one with saving them, I mean, yay, you saved the two characters that you didn't really get attached to. But yeah, so that was the entire series. We were planning on doing a season 2 and a movie, but then we quickly realized that Kaya had like severe depression, and she was not fit to come back for another season. And we were like, well, how are we going to introduce her being gone? So we shot this episode where it's like her leaving, and she was going to go back to Lincoln to fight what was his name? Chris, to go fight Chris for us and make sure, just scoping out the area. So we had a goodbye video already recorded. That is a video that will be posted tonight, I believe, or tomorrow. Oh no, but we had had a like send off video, and it was it. That was completely done. That was the last episode we had ever shot, because me, Cassie, Stupid, and Cash were like, we want to make a season 3, but I want to shoot it in a way where there are new people, new casts, and I wanted to actually make zombies, but we did not have the budget for it, because at the time I was going through a lot of family issues, and yeah, video coming out 2022 about all that. But we were settled in this like spiral of, we want to make series, but we can't make series because we don't have budget. We'd had multiple actors that we'd hired on for Zombie Chronicles, but then they never showed, or they were like not in it. So we ended up just scrapping it and started working on Ed's World with Kaya again. But once again, she was fit, like with severe depression, and we were like, yeah, I was basically after that point done working with them, because like every time we'd gotten like something really good, it was immediately destroyed by the either bad acting or severe depression. So I was like, well, I don't want to work with these guys because this is a very important series for me. So we move on to the, I believe, third and final iteration that we had landed on, which is the edited series, where I went in and I edited the first episode. I believe I was going to edit the second episode, but I was like, I'm going to leave the second episode alone, because I was like, the bullet scene was like too hard to edit for me. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to leave that alone. That's just going to be part of the series chronologically. The third after the first episode, we get like a cutscene for how like um um Jack had shot me and stuff. Caden, he'd shot me and stuff. But the third episode was not very much different. I did a little colorization, and then after the fact, had put at the end credits them talking about the zombie virus and how they were going to create it, and it was going to set up the later series in the end of at the end of this next summer. But it was like we were pushing this too fast, and it was going way too fast for my liking. But we continued down the path of the fourth episode, in the last episode that I have made for Zombie Chronicles in over a year. And it is honestly one of my worst episodes I had ever created on this channel. Um, it was shot in a different location from every other location, brand new set. I had shot it as James's room, which was clearly not James's room. It did look a lot like James's room, but the bed wasn't faced the right way. I was too afraid to move the bed. So it was very apparent that at the time I was not fit to record anything. So me and James and Chris and Caden were discussing what we're going to do with the series. And we're still in negotiations because without me, where in the filming areas, it is extremely hard to film a series without the main character, which I would like to think is me, but it isn't me. Everyone that has ever worked on Zombie Chronicles is amazing at what they do, except for the girls. No offense, they kind of sucked at camera work, but they knew what they were doing. Everyone that has ever stepped foot on set knew what they needed to do and are amazing, and I think are way better actors than me. I'm kind of the script writer, story producer. I put it on my channel. Um, but without everyone around me, I really realized that I can only make this fair to end off a very popular series on my channel, one of my most popular series, with everyone that has ever done it. And that is why when the eventually we film the girls series finale, which will soon happen, it will lead up to, oh my god, this is not Detective Riley will be there too. My Riley from that reality will be killed almost immediately. And when Detective Riley gets there, he'll be like, "Oh my god, why did you guys kill me again? Jeez." And at the end of the episode, because there's going to be a whole lot of conflict, he'll he'll be like, "Wait, this is not the main reality. This is a side reality." And we will shoot off into the next and final series of Zombie Chronicles. Now, this is not the end of the series and world that we had built. We are planning to do just a regular world. And we were going to wear masks, but nowadays, with the pandemic and how everyone has their shots, we don't need to wear masks. But we were basically going to do a real life series where after the Zombie Chronicles events have happened, Chris is majorly mad. And we're going to continue the series and the storyline. So that way we don't have to deal with stupid zombies. It's like one of my best, but one of my worst mistakes is calling it Zombie Chronicles. It's basically just a whole bunch of people shooting at each other. Rednecks, basically. But yeah. That is so far the entire storyline for Zombie Chronicles, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Um I'm gonna go turn into a duck, and I will see you guys in the next stream. Bye everyone.